In my earlier videos, we have learned about ratio, proportion. Now in this part, you will learn variation. Before giving the very definition of variation and types of variation, let us learn what is constant and variable. For the beginners, these two definitions are very much required. This is very much important. So students of class 5, 6 or elementary level, basic level, they must know what is variable and what is constant. In real life, quantities are of two types, one constant and one variable. Constant, the quantity whose value never changes, that is 5. Suppose distance of Burdwan to Calcutta is always fixed, that is constant. So it is constant, it is always fixed, it never changes, that is constant. But the velocity of wind, the temperature of a day, the humidity of a day, the velocity of a car, every time changes. So these are called variables. The chapter variation related to the relation of variables, how they are related. Here we see there are three types of relations. First we see direct variation. Here we learn inverse variation. Or varies inversely, we will tell varies inversely, and this is called joint variation. Before giving definition, we learn how constant and variables are marked. In general, A, B, C, K, M, N, constant are termed as this and variables are termed as X, Y, Z, U, V, T and so on. In direct variation, when X increases, Y also increases. Or when X decreases, the value of Y also decreases. Then it is called directly related, or it is in terms of, it is also called direct proportion. Here mathematically we write X varies Y, or X equals to Ky, where K equal to constant. So in case of direct variation, the relation is X varies Y. But in case of inverse relation, when two variables X and Z are inversely related, then we write X varies 1 by Z. In this way we write, or we can write X equals to M or N by Z, or NZ XZ equal to N, where N equals to constant. In our mathematical problem, we will discuss thoroughly. Now, what is joint variation? Suppose x, y and z are three variables such that x varies 1 by y when z equals to constant and x varies z when y equals to constant. Then by the property of joint variation we can write x varies z by y when all vary. Students, all these three properties are very much important for applications in physics. Without these three properties, you cannot solve a single mathematical problem in physics. So, I advise you to learn regarding direct variation, inverse variation and joint variation, and let us learn how to solve the mathematical problems of these three variations. Now let us see the application of direct variation or direct proportion. Suppose in 5 hours a man can go 300 km through motorcycle. So we have to find out in how many kilometers he will go in 7 hours. How many distance he will travel in 7 hours. Let us solve this in two methods. First, here we see in case of proportion, you have already learned in my earlier class, we see the distance, now the ratio of time equals to ratio of distance traveled. Hence 5:7 as 300 is to suppose x. So in proportion you have learned 5 into x equals to 7 into 300, that is 5x. This implies that 5x equals to 7 into 300. Therefore x equals to 7 into 300 by 5. Here you cancel it 6 0, that is 420 kilometer. So the man will travel 420 kilometer, 420 kilometer in 7 hours. Suppose let us apply the rule of direct variation. Suppose these two items are x and y. Here we see x varies y, that is time, amount of time when increases, distance of the path also increases. Here we put x equals to ky, k equals to constant or constant of variation. Here you put, let us put x means 300 or 5 hours, whatever you like. Suppose it is time is hours and it is distance. So here you see 5 equals to k into 300. Therefore k equals to 5 by 300. Now when x equals to 7, what would be the value of y? Then y equals to x by k, that is 7 by, here you see 60, that is 1 by 60. So you can write it 7 by 1, so 7 into 60, that is 420. So the same result you will get. So students, I advise you to follow the alternative method as well as this method simultaneously. And in physics, we generally follow this rule, so don't avoid this rule. And for school going students, this method is applicable. Please, I also advise them to follow all these rules. Now see an application of inverse variation or inverse proportion. Suppose in a camp of 60 people, there are 15 days food. So with the same food is same, number of 75 people were present. With the same food, how many days will continue for 75 people? Suppose 15 more people added, that is 7. With the same food, how many days will go for 75 people? Here you see, here also apply these two methods. One, we know the ratio of people equals to inverse relation. If the number of people increases, number of days will be diminished. With the same food, number of days will be reduced. So it is an inverse relation. Inverse ratio of days. So here you see 60 is to 75. Suppose number of days will be continue x. So here is the what is the inverse ratio of the days? That is 1 by 15 is to 1 by x. What is the inverse ratio of these two items? That is 1 by 15 is to 1 by x. In my ratio, in the class of my ratio and proportion, you have already learned the inverse of a ratio, and you know it will be x is to 15. So we get 60 is to 75 as is to 15, that is 75x equals to 60 into 15, or x equals to 60 into 15 by 75. It is cancelled, 5, it is 12. So 12 days will run with the same food. This is very simple, and all are advised to follow this method properly. Now let us see how it is applied in the inverse ratio, inverse proportion or inverse variation formula. Here let this item is number of men m and number of days is d. So what is the relation between m and d? M, whenever m increases, days will be decreases, that is m varies 1 by d. So the relation is 1 by d. More people, number of days will be reduced. So here is a inverse relation, and so we can write m equals to k by d, or k equals to md. Now from the relation, when m equal to 60, d equals to 15, k equals to 60 into 15, you need not multiply it. Now when m equals to 75, what would be the value of d? D equals to, we have to find out d. Here we have d, kd, k equals to md. Therefore d equals to k by m. Therefore d equals to, k means 60 into 15 by m. Here m is 75, so it is cancelled. 5, it is 12, so d will be 12. So the answer is 12. Now let us see another problem. Suppose 120 men can complete 80-kilometer road in 20 days. Now we have to find out in how many days 100 men can complete 90-kilometer road. Here we see, here are three variables. One, m. Suppose man is denoted by m, length of the road is L, and number of days is d. We have to find out the number of days. In how many days it will be completed with the help of 100 people, and the total length of the road is 90. So let us see what is how they are related. These three variables are related. Here we see d, how d is related with m. How d and m are related? If more men are employed, the number of days will be reduced. So here is an inverse relation between d and m. So d varies 1 by m. When L equals to constant. Again, let us see how d and L are related. Suppose number of men are fixed. So number of days, if we increase the number of days, the more road will be made. So they are directly proportional. That is, they are directly related. So hence the relation d varies L when m equals to constant. With the property of joint variation, we can write d varies L by m, or we can write d equals to k into L by m, where k equals to constant. Now given that, in the first condition, given that m equals to 120, L equals to 80 and d equals to 20, in the first set of values we will get the value of k. Here k equals to d into m by L. So d equals to, k equals to, d means 20 into m means 120, by L, here 80, that is here 20, in 20 by 80 equals to here 4, and it is 30. So K equals to 30. Let us put this value in 1. Suppose it is 1. So the relation is K equals to 30 into L by M. Suppose it is 2. Now, here the relation is D equals to 30 into, what is the value of K? It is the value of K. So we put the value of K here, that is D equals to 30 into L by M. Now given that in the second case M equals to 100 and L equals to 90, so D will be 30 into L, 90 by M, that is 100, that is 27. So the answer is 27, that is in 27 days that total work will be completed. So students, I like to advise you to follow this method properly, very carefully. If you face any problem, you please write me, and I am assuring you to answer your queries immediately. Students, I like to request you to subscribe my YouTube channel and share my channel to your friends. Thank you.